So this is update 8, I think, on the RedSea REEFER 250, and I'm filming this in twilight, but you could probably already see yourselves that there's a pretty shitty nutrient problem with the tank. It's not an extreme problem or anything like that. It's not, it's not, I'm not thinking I can't rid it or anything, but I think I overlooked how difficult it'd be to get rid of turf algae. I've never really had a problem with it ever. This first, I've been keeping marine tanks, I think, since I was either 12 or 13, I can't quite remember, but I've never actually had green turf algae before. I always thought it was just what is before green hair algae, but apparently it's a thing of its own. I just never really looked into it that much, which is not a good thing to do. Like, try and learn all the different algae and you can get a bit of a better grasp on how to react when you get them. It's been a while since I updated it. It's about a month, and a lot's happened in that month. I actually introduced some more coral, as well as, you can already tell, there's new fish in there, and there's a few other bits that have happened. I've not really updated it too much, as I've got a lot going on at the minute with we're having 2 extensions done at the same time and stuff like that, so it's a lot going on. And yeah, so anyway, in a previous video, I'm sure I mentioned, might have been 6 or 7 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 of them, I mentioned about the turf algae, and I wasn't fazed by it, and I wish I was at the time, because I've cleaned the tank a lot myself, physically myself, as in the weir, you can tell, is really clear because you can see my ghostly face in it, and the right hand panel. I haven't touched the left hand panel just because it's against the wall and it's gone, it's pain, and I want to see some death, some algae death as well. So if I can start to see it wither away on one of the panels or whatever, it's going to be easy to see it there and on the main rocks rather than the gravel. So at least I've got a bit of a gauge myself, because running tests and stuff is great normally, but when you got you've already got your algae problem, you keep testing for for instance PO4, good contributor to algae problems. You'll tend to find that unless you do stuff like ICP tests, your own tests that you do at home, the PO4 tests, you tend to find that they always give you a real low range, and you're thinking, oh, super low range, what's wrong with my tank? I've got all these algae problems, and yet my PO4 tests are coming back awesome. And basically that's just down to the nutrients, the negative nutrients that are going into the tank are being taken up by the algae before you're having a chance to test for them, basically. So the easiest way to tell if you've got a nutrient problem in your tanks, you've got algae in your tank, and I mean proper algae as well. A lot of people think dinoflagellates and stuff like that is algae as well as type of bacteria. I'll talk about that in another, if it happens, or in another episode or whatever, I'll mention it. I'll talk about it a bit more in depth. Yeah, so that got me to thinking on how to fight it. Obviously, I've done the system reset. I changed a massive amount of water. I was doing like 100 litre water changes and stuff in a 250 litre tank, which I really wouldn't, generally speaking, I wouldn't advise you do, in my opinion. Some people do water changes like that as standard, but normally I wouldn't, it's not what I'd normally do. But I really didn't want this tank to go back downhill. Like my general method, again, it's not what I'd actually really be recommending to people necessarily, but it's worked for me every time till now. My normal method would be to let it tank, how do you word it? almost like an extreme cycle. Like I will do nothing to the tank. I'll set it up and let it go ape shit. Using it again. If you look right back to, like, say the 3rd episode in or something, it's probably a good point where it's going bad. Is there'd be a ton of algae, and I've gone through all the different types of algae at that, or a lot of different types of algae at that stage, and I let them burn out. Whatever it is they're feeding off, I keep letting them burn out and burn out and burn out. The problem is, what that's created here is, or what I think's going on. You know, I've thought about it, but what I think's going on is turf algae. Is I think the nutrients themselves are actually leaching back from the rocks. This is all rock I've been using for years in a separate tank, and this, that, and the other. I don't want to keep going over why I started this tank a bit bollocks, but you know, the rock was it went outside and it went in the snow and this and that and the other, and I just, you know, it's my bad. It's me being a dick and not setting it up properly. I'm still going to try and, you know, I'm not giving up on it. I could have sold this tank 3 times over at this point, and I've not bothered, because I'm just like, I really want to do this tank. I'm not going to allow myself to spend, a down payment on a house worth of aquarium in the front room if I can't have success with this one, obviously. And